teach reading and writing for children. So this is one of the interesting and the wanted topic for many of the parents and teachers, because we do find there are like so many differences in the way you teach children for their reading and writing aspect. So as this is a very vast topic, I would like to do it in parts. Like, I'm going to share a series of videos in the next coming week. So in every week, I'm just going to focus on one or the other area of reading and writing. Okay. Because as a parent, we would have lots and lots of questions on how to start reading. Is my child ready for reading activity? Is my child ready for writing activities? So how do I know that? And can I start words for my child? Can I start with story reading? So there are like lots of questions that comes to your mind, and this video is mainly to make you understand what is reading and when to start and where to start it. Okay, so how will you know that your child is ready for learning or reading? Okay, so what are the different ideas, or what are the different techniques that you can use to make your child ready for reading? Okay, the first one is interest and motivation. Yes, this is the most important component when it comes to reading or writing. Okay, so you need to instill an interest or motivation in the child so that he or she starts learning it. Okay, so yeah, I think that's going to be the most common question that most of the parents would have. My child is not interested in reading. My child is not interested in focusing on anything. They are not reading anything. They do have, he's not sitting at one place, and lot more questions. Okay, so once if you're able to instill that interest, I think that is going to be an answer for all the questions that that is going to come to your mind. So how can I do that? First thing I would say is the role model, being an appropriate role model. The toddlers especially imitate what they see. They observe the people who are around them and they try to imitate, especially the fathers and mothers or grandparents. So for example, I have shared a video. So if a mom is watching a laptop or working in a laptop, the child is going to repeat the same. And if you're on the phone, they are also going to repeat the same. And if you're going to shout at the child, and they are also going to repeat the same thing. So it's always, the child usually imitates a parent. So it's always important that you show a right model for the child so that they also get interested. So if at all you are able to read some books or spend some time on reading and writing, the child will be trying to imitate you. That's going to be the first step on instilling an interest. And how do you know that your child is ready for it? Okay, so just try to play with the child as much as possible. Okay, just give them random activities so that they play with you well and much. Okay, so when I say playing with your child, just don't be on like a mother or a father or something and then play. Just if a child is 2 years old, go to their 2 years old, just be like their peers and just start playing with them. So that's gonna help you to build a better rapport with the child, and that is gonna help the child to involve in any of the activities that is gonna be suggested by you. Okay, so you can involve in some kind of play, you can involve some time of reading time together. So you can just show some pictures and you're gonna just read, and your child is gonna just sit next to you and watch those storytelling or stories or a picture book, just moving that one after the other, or turning the pages one after the other, or trying to write something, and your child is going to sit and watch that, playing with a block. So all this is a first step to instill an interest for your child in reading and writing. And the second one is language and vocabulary. Make sure that your child is able to talk or use language to communicate, because once if the child understands that there is a language and vocabulary list is there with them, then only it's easy for them to read certain activities. So how do we expand it, or how do we cultivate the language and vocabulary? The first and foremost for toddlers or preschoolers is definitely a play. So engaging them in play, more of pretend play. When they become a doctor and you become a patient, or they become a teacher and you become a student, or just a cooking and you become they are going to be a cook and you're going to be a customer or something. So engage them in lots and lots of pretend play, story reading activities and all that, so that they understand that the language is important to communicate whatever they want from you, and they also get so many words from this. So once the child is able to have a list of language and vocabulary, then we can move on to the next one, that is print awareness. Yes, this is very important, because the child should know that the print, whatever, if there is a cat written on the paper, that cat has some meaning. If there is a stop signal that is there on the board with a written word stop, that means it has some meaning into it. So they should understand there is a print concept, and it usually comes from left to right. So that is where, we should also make sure that when we read certain things, though the child is not involved in reading, either we have to track the words or track the sentences with our fingers or a pen or a highlighters or something, so that they understand that the reading or the scanning of letters starts from left to right. So that was going to be the next one. And then letter knowledge. Yes, before we start reading, it's very important, reading words or sentences, it's very important that the child is aware of different phonic sounds. They should be able to identify that A sounds A and B sounds B. So they should be able to link that this has a link to that sounds, and that's how the reading is formed. So once you are able to identify all these 4 important prerequisites for reading, and if you're able to cultivate these things in a very productive way, I think your child, little one, is ready for reading activity. So I hope this video would have been useful to you. Stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to